Hey people, what's good? This is Godma. You're going to be currently watching a 2 vs 2 game on Metalopolis. Your players are going to be the following. We're going to have my ally Spliffy playing as the light blue Terran over here in this corner. Down on the other end is myself, Spiffy, also playing as Terran. And right here I'm just discussing a loss that we suffered in a previous game where I foolishly let the opposition's force into my base by not raising a supply depot that was lowered, so that's just what that was about. And we're going to be going up against Little B, the red Protoss player, and his ally FTB, the blue Zerg. So I did think to record and cast this game because I remember it being very fast paced for the Copper League anyway. There's lots of stuff going to be going around, happening on the map. I do remember having to actually kind of physically exert myself to try to stay competitive in this game. So certainly there are better examples of those kinds of games and higher tier play, but for the Copper League, also just something a very huge mistake to note in this game. This actually probably cost us the game. It undoubtedly cost us the game, but you can see here I have my rally point set to an SCV, I think, instead of a mineral patch, so I don't catch this until much later. So right now I'm only mining off of 3 or 4 SCVs until I figure out what's going on. And yeah, see, my rally point is set on this SCV here. That's what's causing this mistake. But I do get wise eventually. It does take me a while, but I do fix that, and I definitely kind of facepalm myself. But yeah, I'm only now realizing what's been going on. I'm thinking to myself, this is strange, I can't afford my barracks. Why can't I afford my barracks? And then I take a look at my SCVs, and yeah, I definitely perform a full-on facepalm. So Little B now has his pylon and his gateway, not making a wall off, he's just putting that close to his mineral line. We are seeing that more and more these days in Starcraft 2 beta. The Zerg player, he has his one Overlord scout now checking out this expansion. Spliffy is going to be following this Overlord with his SCV, just for good measure. He's also going to be dropping the supply depot in this fogged out area to catch any surprise attacks. But yeah, if I did have an excuse for my poor start in this game, it would be because I had this huge SCV error causing me to lose a lot of mining time and just a lot of income. So that would definitely be my excuse, and rightly so. Right now FTB is moving out with these Zerglings, is going to probably encounter my front door, which is complete, but I don't have any Marines in place, so unless I can get an army here to defend this wall, it's going to go down pretty quick. My SCV here is trapped outside, and it's just not going to see these Zerglings. SCV now is going to go down, but here I pull off a bunch of SCVs on this wall here to try to repair the supply depot, and there's no way that these Zerglings are going to take down this depot before my first Marine comes out, so that is pretty much walled off. My ally here is throwing some Marines into the fray to kind of give me some assistance. Meanwhile, Little B, the Zerg's ally, he's got an early forge, so maybe seeing some cannons. He's got researching that warp gate upgrade now, 2 zealots in play. And here we see these Zerglings harassing these Marines. These Marines are probably going to fall to these Zerglings, yeah, no question. So I think definitely my ally would have been better off just not worrying about me, really. You should have saw that I had my wall being repaired by those SCVs, in addition to that support of that one Marine shooting from behind the depot. So anyway, I can't really blame him for his goodwill. He was trying to help me out, but even so, he did lose a lot of units. Taking a look at units lost, red and blue have very low casualties compared to the 150 resources that my ally has lost. Switching to production right quick, we have a early hatchery, always a good call for Zerg coming out from FTB, a barracks from my ally, as well as some additional Marines, and myself, I'm getting a reactor, probably going to be putting that on, yeah, this barracks. I think in this game, I opt to go straight for air, as I believe that's what I remember most of my unit forces being made out of. So I'm going to try to tech rush to air while I have this reasonably defended front wall. I'm really worried about a drop. I think, yeah, I call this out because I see these overlords congregating around this hatchery, which really, in my experience, you only see that if The Berserk player is researching dropship capability for the overlords, and yeah, if he's just congregating them around that area, which he's not anymore, he's spreading them out. But yeah, usually you see Zerg players pulling all the overlords into one area to try to prepare for a doomsday drop, as they call it. But right now, some more Zerglings probably just going to go out and do some scouting, taking in the Selnaga Watchtower, seeing that there is no high yield expansion coming up from us, where on the other hand, Little B is wisely taking the high yield expansion here as his first extra base. So unless we spot that coming up here from Little B, we're going to be falling behind in income very quickly. I lifted off my factory here to just scout this overpass into my base. As you can see, the buildings, the advertisements on Metalopolis, just kind of on the cityscape down below. But as you can see, my main army right now, my only defense at this point is I have that engineering bay tech, so I'm dropping some missile turrets, making this command center in my base, planning to lift that off shortly. Little B very nicely transferring these probes to this high yield expansion, although he's not mining from it just yet. He's got them idling here. Blue has some roaches in play, so he definitely is unaware of my starports that are now coming out. But at the same time, yeah, Little B is now operating off of this high yield. He's queued up a lot of probes there. I have lifted off this command center. I'm going to be starting to mine immediately from this high ground expansion. Meanwhile, my ally is going for what looks like a infantry and air build with that second factory. Yeah, there's the first factory, enabling him to get these starports. So I'm calling out that I want to attack pretty soon. I'm going to have some Banshees in the air. I think, I don't know that I saw this high yield expansion. Yeah, no, our team doesn't know that this high yield expansion is in play, so that is probably going to hurt us in the long run. As yeah, our opposition's income is in a very good spot right now. Red is leading the charge really, just capping at about 1,000 minerals of income. So his team is definitely ahead of income. My ally very, very much suffering. One of his shortcomings, as I have said in previous games, is that he doesn't like to expand. He's kind of hesitant to do it, and our team's income does suffer as a result. But that's just something that he could possibly improve on. Now just starting to saturate that expansion. I have these little group of Marines here in case I need them. And yeah, I'm just starting now to get these Banshees in play. As you can see here, I'm also researching Cloak for those Banshees, and I just have the second one coming up now. In contrast, Red is getting his first robo facility, or robotics facility. Blue is switching to air as well, as he's creating that Spire and also a War Prison coming out for our enemies. So here now is an observer flying into our my ally Spliffy's base. He's going to see all of these crazy tech buildings, undoubtedly, and he'll be able to respond in kind. He's got a Hydralisk Den, an Evolution Chamber, Roach Warren, and now a Spire, so very nice unit diversity from Blue. My factory now is going to fly over this high yield expansion. I'm going to spot that out. I'm going to start panicking. Here now is a power field, a nice power field. Actually, it's sort of a superfluous power field because it's right over this pylon here. But anyway, he's going to warp in these stalkers, and they're going to try to shoot down this factory. Stalkers do bonus damage to the factory, as it is the factory is armored. So now we have a very large army in play here from FTB and Little B. He's going to be sending these stalkers, but they're going to run into this large marine force. Meanwhile, I have these two Banshees in play. I got two more over here trying to take out this one pylon. They're probably going to do it, as yeah, Cloak is now in play. I'm going to finish off this pylon and attempt to try to supply lock Little B. But Little B actually, his